Everyone knows that if you put up a flag with a Christian cross on it or anything like that, the left would have had an absolute aneurysm. Sure. And those flags are without a doubt a religious flag to the left. Mm-hmm. So the fact that these things are being taken down, the left is having an absolute fit about it because you're mocking their religion, and they really look like they had conquered Christianity in the United States, which I think would be a terrible thing. Again, even though I'm generally an agnostic dude, I think that having gender ideology as the religion that the United States worships, I think there's probably nothing that's worse for society, considering what you end up with is cutting the body parts off of children.
It's pretty perverse.
I think it's reasonable to take religious iconography off of U.S. bases. And I don't know what U.S. outposts are. I haven't really heard that term thrown around. I know U.S. embassies.
I don't necessarily agree. I actually have no real concern of Christian iconography in government places the way the liberals really do.
It's also historical.
In our courts, they swear on Bibles. They offer up other texts. When the president is being sworn in, they offer up a Bible.
Oh, they offer it. Yeah, Trump didn't touch the Bible.
Yeah, I guess people were upset about that.
Some
but
people
whatever.
said that.
And there's been an effort throughout my life to try and make the claim that the U.S. government should never have these things, but are part of our moral tradition. And so if I go to a court building or I go to an embassy and there's something related to Christianity, it's just normal. It's been that way in this country for a long time. It is the root of our morality in this country. Yeah. To replace that with an insane ideology that harms children is devastating. So I think the philosophical approach I've been taking, the way I've been approaching this for the past, a year or so, has been more post-liberal. This idea of these universal principles apply to all things is just incorrect. And this as an example, came when I was debating Bobby Sauce on the issue of TikTok. And he said, look, we don't believe in big government, so we shouldn't give the government the power to do these things. And my point was, there are some things that are morally good. There are some things that are morally bad. Just because we ban one doesn't mean we ban all. And people make the argument that, if we don't ban the left, if we implement a law that will stop the left from doing this one bad thing, later on they can use it against us. And it's like, okay, well, they're doing a bad thing now. We're not going to let them keep doing it just because one day someone might do another bad thing. We stop things we don't like that are bad, and that is, they're flying these flags of ideology that are abhorrent and have been destructive to this country. Stop. Christianity, largely good for this country.
Okay, this is a little bit of a tangent, but what's up with the cross? Like, it's what they killed the dude with. If your prophet was murdered with a gun, you wouldn't put a gun on a flag and fly that thing. So the cross is a prophet.
Jesus Christ's sacrifice and death was the salvation of mankind, and so that's what the cross signifies.
It's salvation.
I feel like
and a stark reminder of what was sacrificed, which was pretty heavy stuff there.
If Jesus was like, I'm not going to do it, and they're like, then die, and they put a gun to his head and killed him, and then they put the gun on the flag, I'd be like, bro, he still got sacrificed. But
okay. First of all, you're arguing something entirely different.
I know it's not even the point.
But I want to stress this, that there is this, as I mentioned, this long-standing effort my whole life to say that religion should be entirely separate, the separation of church and state, and all of these things. But it is in our Constitution, in our founding documents, in literally what helped the founding fathers craft this country that worked so well was quite literally the Christian religion. I am not a Christian. I don't follow the same beliefs as Matt, and some people have told me I will burn in hell, whatever. But I understand logic, and I can look at the history of this country and see where we are and why we got here, and the beliefs that led us to this place, and say those were good things. Largely, some things we progressed upon. We got rid of slavery. We did things like that, which means we've improved upon ourselves. How did we come to the point where we developed these ideas, wrote them down, and it's our moral tradition? So again, if I see a school and they tell kids, like, here are some of the things that we believe, we want to put the 10 Commandments in a courtroom or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
it's the 10 Commandments. I'm also not offended by Hammurabi's code. So much of this is also historical. It's like we just threw out common sense and wisdom.
Yes.
And these things, to your point, like, you don't have to like it. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It is just a fact that our system of government is built on Christian ideals. It just simply is. And so this is part of our history. It's part of our identity as a nation, which is why you're exactly right that there is a major difference between a freaking pride flag and a cross. The pride flag has nothing to do with the history of this nation. Nothing good has ever been achieved under the pride flag. Now the cross, and I know you were being a bit, you didn't mean it totally seriously, and I hear this kind of comment. Well, why the cross? And you say it in kind of a flippant way, but it's a valid question. Well, why that? And the answer is that it's the Christ's death and resurrection was our salvation, but also the cross itself. And if you're not a Christian, you don't get it. It doesn't mean a lot to you. I understand that. But our civilization was built under this symbol. People marched under this symbol, not just in this country, but across the Western world. And we live in the civilization that we do. And every good thing that we have in our lives is really because people believed in the cross, and they went out and they did incredible things, and they fought and they died for the sake of the cross. And so I think that even if I wasn't Christian, and it's hard for me to put myself in that mindset, but even if I wasn't Christian, as someone who respects history and who is a big fan of Western civilization, it's the civilization I live in, it's a great civilization, I would still have a respect for the cross for that reason alone.
Exactly my position.
Christianity radically changed the way that people deal with each other, our human interactions. Women were treated much better.
Yep.
Through Christianity. We were no longer considered like cattle. It doesn't mean that we're the same as men or that we need to be, weird, freaky, OnlyFans sex people. Slaves were treated better. Oh, that's so terrible. Well, it was the precedent across the entire globe.
And slavery was abolished
through Christianity.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.